Dealing with imposter syndrome. Do you ever feel like you're just pretending to run a business? Maybe you're worried about what people think if you put yourself out there, or your lack of experience. Perhaps you're finding yourself even shying away from opportunities that you know will be good for your business, with fear of being found out as not being as good as everyone else thinks you are. If so, you may be struggling with imposter syndrome. Now, we all struggle with imposter syndrome at some point in our business, but if this is something that's holding you back, watch this video because I'll be sharing with you some top tips on how to overcome it. Sound good? Let's get started. I'm Irene from irenemoore.com, and for the very best in business and mindset tips, subscribe to my channel and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified when I release new videos each and every week. Imposter syndrome is a psychological pattern where an individual constantly doubts their abilities and questions their achievements, living in fear that they may be found out as a fraud. Surprisingly, this is really common in high-achieving individuals who are always questioning their achievements even though they've achieved a very high level of success. Unsurprisingly, imposter syndrome tends to rear its head when you're growing and starting new ventures, such as starting a new business. If you're struggling with imposter syndrome, watch this video because I'm going to be sharing with you some really practical ways that you can overcome it and start enjoying your new life as an entrepreneur. Tip 1, consider the root cause. Like most things, the first step is awareness. If you've been struggling with imposter syndrome and keep finding yourself being constantly plagued by feelings of inadequacy, it could be worth looking at what the root cause may be. In my experience with imposter syndrome, this stemmed for me as always being referred to as a child as lucky anytime I tried to celebrate a big achievement. This led to me feeling incredible bouts of guilt for my friends and family who didn't appear to have the same good fortune as me, even if I knew I was working doubly as hard. This led to me downplaying my achievements or maybe even self-sabotaging so I didn't have to feel those bouts of guilt. How about you? Have you ever been referred to as lucky or too ambitious? Maybe you've been told that failure isn't an option or that success isn't for everyone. Do you find yourself dimming your light or downplaying your achievements just so others don't feel bad? Let me know your experiences in the comments below. The deeper understanding you have of where your imposter syndrome came from, the easier it's going to be for you to identify that same pattern as it's holding you back throughout your business. Tip 2, recognize and release imposter syndrome behavior. Now, imposter syndrome can show up in various ways, especially when you're just starting a business. Do any of these sound familiar? Perfectionism. Nothing feels good enough. This can result in you working on projects that you spent hours and days and weeks on, but they never see the light of day because you're too scared to put them out there. Overworking. You'd rather be working instead of socializing, having fun, and even relaxing. And you know that secretly it's causing disharmony in your bigger life. Struggling with criticism. Do you take negative feedback really personally and sometimes struggle to acknowledge the good? Praise feels uncomfortable. Do you hate the spotlight and even downplay some of your achievements? Comparison. Do you spend way too much time comparing yourself to your peers and sometimes even feel a bit low or like a low achiever after scrolling on social media? Here's the thing. If you're finding yourself experiencing these things regularly, it's important to stop, take a breath, and remind yourself, you are enough right now and deserve every single success. Try and take regular digital detoxes from social media. Even consider deleting the app for a week, and you'll soon see that it's much easier to stop comparing your real life to the manicured lives of those on social media. Tip 3, have a private cheerleading session. Now, this may feel a little strange at first, But whenever you start to feel imposter syndrome coming up, I want you to just take 30 minutes to yourself with a glass of your favorite drink. Then I want you to list between 5 and 10 of your biggest achievements, how they made you feel and why. Sit down with those thoughts for just a moment. Think about how you felt, all the work that you put in, and the sense of achievement that you felt afterwards. If you have any reviews or testimonials that you got off the back of those achievements, make sure that you take the time to read through those as well. Next, I want you to read each and every one of those achievements out loud. Raise a glass to toast yourself and say, "Thank you for acknowledging my achievement." Now you have my top 3 tips on how to overcome imposter syndrome when starting a business. Go ahead and download the free Boss Breakthrough worksheet that goes along with this episode so that you can start taking action today. I've linked to it in the description below. If you found this video useful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to hit subscribe. Finally, you know success loves company, so if you found this video useful, please share it with just one person who you think it might help. I look forward to reading your comments below.